And what is up, Peter Peeps? Welcome in to the week 8 or week 7, whatever week it is, week 18 Pewtercast post game here on the Fansided Network. The Pewtercast is presented by BetUS.com. I'm Steve Carney. Ren Dax is sitting there watching.
Hello.
We're both watching the 49ers and the Los Angeles Rams. This is the game that Bucs fans need to be keeping an eye on after their 41-17 win over Carolina. Right now, there's about 2.5 minutes to go in overtime. The 49ers kicked a 24-yard field goal to take a 27-24 lead over the Rams. If the Rams cannot counter, and they will probably need a touchdown, although a tie would also give them the number 2 seed as well. But as things stand, if San Francisco can hold on to this lead, the Buccaneers would be the number 2 seed in the postseason on the NFC side, just behind the Green Bay Packers. The other thing that it would do is it would eliminate the New Orleans Saints, so we don't have to worry about
the
that.
most important thing. I don't want to play the Saints in the playoffs at all.
No, absolutely not.
It was incomplete by Stafford on first down.
Yep.
2nd and 10. He's dropping back. He's firing.
And it's incomplete to Odell Beckham.
Short hopped it.
So now 3rd down and 10. The Rams inside their own 20. They're on the 18 for this. Stafford now 20 of 30, 229 yards. He has 3 touchdowns and an interception. Jimmy Garoppolo did not start out well. 23 of 32. 360 yards, a touchdown, 2 interceptions. I mean, it is loud right now in Los Angeles. You can hear the noise on Ren's television here.
3rd down.
3rd and 10.
Dropping back. He's got some pressure up the middle. He's throwing
It
it
is
light. It's incomplete. It's fourth down. It's fourth down.
There is a flag on the play.
Boo! Boo!
A flag on the play, and San Francisco called for a holding, and that will extend the drive. Now 2:27 to go in overtime.
He held him. Wasn't terrible.
No, it wasn't terrible.
I've seen worse not called. That is tough duty. You tell him, Troy.
Tough duty from Troy Aikman. What a great line there. And that will extend the drive here. We're giving you play-by-play of the Rams and the 49ers.
Super exciting stuff.
Again, the 49ers with a win here not only would eliminate the New Orleans Saints from the postseason, but would give the Buccaneers the number 2 seed in the NFC playoffs.
How did he get out of that?
He got out of the play. Throws, it is complete to Higbee for 9 yards.
And the clock
just
stopped.
Shy of the first down, and the clock stops.
Another thing to think about here, even though I don't think it's going to matter, that San Francisco took up so much time on that opening drive.
Almost 8 minutes, 7.5 minutes.
Yeah, so the Rams only had like 2:40 to get down and tie it or go get a touchdown and try to win it.
And what really stinks is the Niners had 1st and goal on the 7, and they had an opportunity to get Deebo Samuel in the end zone. He would have been just the 4th player in NFL history since the merger to have a passing touchdown, a rushing touchdown, and a receiving touchdown in the same game.
First down, Rams.
Michelle gives the Rams a first down. That's going to take it down to the 2-minute warning. And yes, there is a 2-minute warning in overtime.
Was there a 2-minute warning in overtime?
There is a 2-minute warning in overtime.
Yeah, how did he get out of that sack, man? I'm with you, Corey.
Unbelievable,
Jesus.
Corey. Yeah, you're absolutely.
It's like Sam Darnold in the first quarter. The guy was made of smoke.
Absolutely. Speaking of that, now that we have the 2-minute warning here,
sure.
Let's talk a little bit about our game. Again, a 41-17 victory for the Buccaneers in Week 18 over Carolina. They get their 13th win of the season in order to do so. But it was a rough go to begin things for the Bucs. I mean, when you only get one drive in the first 15 minutes and you go 3 and out, you just kind of scratch your head. And really, I even said on social media, Todd Bowles playing Super Tecmo Bowl in that first quarter because they were playing the no defense. There was no defense to be seen.
I think we might have to just come to grips with that Todd Bowles sort of scripted defense, what he decides to do coming out of the gate in a football game is going to be wrong.
I almost wonder, how much of this is the fact that you don't have Shaq Barrett, you don't have.
Oh no. We've given up long drives, and it seems a lot to me. I mean, we can go back and look at it, but it just seems to me that the defense always gets off to a slow start. Always.
Richard's asking if we secure the second seed, who do we play? We play
Eagles. We're playing the Eagles no matter what.
Yeah, it's the Eagles no matter what. Oh.
What happened?
You're gonna find out.
I see somebody in the chat said the Bucs are the 2 seed. Maybe a turnover coming up. I'm streaming it, so I'm late.
Yeah, they're
drop back. Behind. He's going deep. Oh,
yeah! It was intercepted. Avery Thomas with the pick, and the San Francisco 49ers have given the Tampa Bay Buccaneers the number 2 seed.
And more importantly, knocked the Saints out of the playoffs. And nothing against Saints. And the Saints fan is, I don't want anything to do with those freaking guys.
And now Mike Neighbors can go sell as many books as he wants.
There you go. Wow, and put them in the playoffs. Oh, wait.
Well, yeah, because if they had lost...
Wait. Looks like his foot landed... His foot sort of landed out of... But his butt hit first.
Yeah, butt hit first.
I just want to make sure here.
That's right. A cheek is as good as 2 feet, as John Madden used to say.
It is.
That ball game is over. What a crazy finish. Remember, the 49ers were down 17-0 in that game.
Yeah, I thought it was over for sure. I'm like, here we go. We're gonna have to play the Saints. Like, here we go. Saints are gonna come into Tampa Stadium.
No, luckily we would have played the Eagles either way. Thank goodness. But
no, I'm talking about week 2 or the second round.
Second round, they were the 7th seed. They would have had to go to Green Bay.
Oh, but okay.
The earliest we could have played the Saints was in the NFC title game.
Yep, it's official.
It is official. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are the number 2 seed in the NFC playoffs, thanks to their 41-17 win over Carolina and San Francisco winning in overtime over the Los Angeles Rams.
All right.
We will get to your comments. Ren is going to have the link in the chat here on YouTube as we get ready to take some of your thoughts on this game. But let's get back into the beginning of this contest. They go the Panthers go 14 plays, 75 yards, and scored touchdown on the first drive. Bucs go 3 and out, and then all of a sudden, the Panthers are rolling again to end the first quarter, but then they made 2 key mistakes at the end of the first quarter. First off, Matt Rule showing that he has no idea about clock management because he called timeout with 1 second left in the quarter instead of letting the game clock run down to 0. Yes, the game clock would have been at 0 as well, but the quarter would have been over.
Yeah, I don't really know how that goes.
I think the game
tie goes to the game clock.
Yeah, I think the game clock supersedes the play clock.
Tie goes to the game clock.
Tie goes to the game clock.
You gotta listen for the pop of the glove.
That's right. So anyway, you end up that, and then that was their second timeout of the first half, and then they lose their third timeout of the half on a bad
challenge.
Looking to try and get a spot change on that fourth down play down by the goal line.
Right.
So
right.
I thought that Matt Rule showed that he really still has no idea how to manage the clock in the National Football League.
I didn't know it was a problem, that his clock management was a problem. I mean, so it appears that, I guess it came out today, or maybe it was yesterday, that they're going to keep him for next year no matter what type of deal, which is fine. I think, you got to give him more than 2 years, especially since you've changed quarterbacks both times and now changed offensive coordinators. And they just need to fix their offensive line. They've got some good pieces. But having said that, Bucs Twitter was imploding the first quarter. I saw a tweet that was like Brady's got to go after this year because, he had thrown the ball 3 times. I think he was 1 for 3 for 3 yards or something. And so now Brady's got to go, and the defense stinks, and I have no hope for the playoffs, and blah, 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 blah. And then you look up at the end of the day, and it's 41-17. And
41-17. He's throwing 319 yards.
Defense has 2 turnovers, Why
these games are 60 minutes long.
Yeah. So it was just there were some good things. Mike got his, Gronk got his. That could have been a little rub in the face to AB, letting those guys get theirs. Brady got his as far as yards and all completions and all. He did all kinds of stuff. I don't know. You can't even keep up with Tom Brady's records. But I thought Keyshawn Vaughn looked good at the rare opportunities he got. I thought he made some good catches. On some hard catches, not just in his hands and hey, he caught it, like we do with Ronald Jones, he didn't drop it, but he had some, difficult catches. Perryman stepped up with a huge catch, kind of got the offense rolling there. I said it last week, and I've said it before, and I said it, 2-3 years ago on this show, when Tom Brady and the Patriots happened to pop up, he just needs 3 guys. And he has Mike, and he has Gronk, and then with the Bucs, there's so many other guys can be that third guy. It's really sort of like an amalgamation. It can be Vaughn, it can be Jones, it can be Bell, it can be Brait, it can be Tyler Johnson. He'll really only, as long as he has Gronk and somebody else, I think right now, really only needs 2, and they're going to put up a lot of points. So, death taxes, Bucs wins. The Panthers, showed what they were, and at the end of the day, franchise all-time record in wins. And, we got the Eagles, so feeling good. And the Saints are out. And the 2 seed. It couldn't have gone better. It really couldn't have.
Yeah, absolutely perfect day for Week 18 for the Bucs. As you mentioned, franchise record in wins with 13 this season. Franchise record for completions, for yards, for touchdowns by a Buccaneers quarterback, by 44-year-old Tom Brady. You got to see Gronkowski get his extra million. Imagine that. Tom Brady understands, hey, my guy has 2 incentives that he can hit here in Week 18, and I'm going to make sure that I do everything in my power to get him both of those incentives, and he ends up with an extra $1 million because of it. Not like Gronk needs it, but another 100, a 32nd career 100-yard receiving day for Gronkowski, which is now the most ever by a tight end in NFL history. Just so much went well today. And as I tweeted, for what Brady has done this year, there's only 3 little letters that define it, and that's MVP. For this year. He's the GOAT. He was the GOAT beforehand.
I was making a joke because that's 4 letters.
Yeah, it's 4 letters.
Yeah.
But no, he will be. you can mark it down as Hank Stram once said. You can write it down in pen and underline it. Brady will be the most valuable player in the National Football League this year.
I think so too. I don't really even think there's a debate, and I think mostly it's because Aaron Rodgers won it last year.
Yeah,
I always think that counts against you. Like Shaquille O'Neal won the MVP in the league, like what, once, twice?
Yeah.
like Steve Nash won it one time over him. It's like, come on now. Like,
well, it's like Michael Jordan only, I think, had like 1 or 2 MVPs in his career. It's like, come on.
It's a little crazy. But what's Brady leading in touchdowns, and he's leading in yards, like attempts and yards, and so I mean, been sacked a few times. I mean, what else do you have to do at the most important position? So
Andy's what, 5 years older than Aaron Rodgers? So
yeah, he has been. I don't know. We'll see how long Aaron Rodgers plays. But I thought the defense stepped it up. I thought Joe Tryon was all over the field. He was
Tryon
running.
Should have had a pick 6. You can tell why he plays defense.
Yeah, he should have had a pick. It was right on him real quick. But yeah, if it would have stuck to his glove, he could have pulled that in. But he was running down a lot of plays from behind. I saw him do that, kind of like what Shaq was doing when, a lot of fans were on kind of Shaq's butt for not getting any sacks and why would we pay him? And then, he's making tackles 7-8 yards down the field 3-4 times a game. I thought the pressure was really good. Vea started off like he was unblockable. I mean, he was using his speed. Talk about it like smoke, like they couldn't get a hand on that guy. And I'll tell you what, man, did I talk about it last week? Anthony Nelson, that guy's got 5 sacks, man.
Yep. Three games in a row he's got a sack now.
This was a guy, that John Ledger at Pewter Report, I'm not banging on him. I think Pewter Report's, since he's got there, they've really stepped up their game. Like, they used to do like the Fab Five, and Mark would do something, and then Trevor would have to do just about everything else, but they wouldn't cover like the signings, like the little stuff, the little breaking news. They would never really cover that stuff, and you'd have to kind of go to Joe Bucs fans to kind of find those blogs on it. Altman would tweet about it, and Stroud would tweet about it, and Jenna would tweet about it, but no one wrote it like an article, so you had to go to Joe Bucs fan to find that stuff. And then last year Pewter Report really stepped up their game, and so now they cover everything, and they do like 4 podcasts a week. And so anyway, John Ledger was very down on Nelson, and like when you watch Nelson play and you looked at his tape coming out of college, like he wasn't wrong. It's just that you really start to understand when players like Cyril Grayson and Anthony Nelson and Alex Kappa, start to contribute to your team. You start to understand how good this coaching staff is. Like, name me a player that's got here and gotten worse. Because I can name you about a bazillion before Bruce Arians' staff got here in the history of the Buccaneers.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, you look at it and, there's a reason why they were able to bring the entire starting 11 on both sides back. And it's because they've gotten, those guys are fantastic, and they've only gotten better since BA and the coaching staff got here. So, I don't think you have to worry about that at all. Again, we will take your take your thoughts on this here. You
got anything on the game before we start going to some guys in the queue?
Yeah. For me, I really think that
Hargraves wasn't a BA. I'm sorry, I'm talking to people. Go ahead.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Vernon Hargreaves was not a BA guy.
Yeah, didn't draft him.
Yeah, for me, I think that the most important aspect of this regular season is the fact that, through 18 regular season games, or regular season weeks, I should say, in 17 regular season games, you lost 1 game on the offensive line all year.
Yeah.
The same 5 guys played the entire season at the 5 offensive line positions, with the exception of 1 game missed by Ali Marpet. And
what
that,
a slacker. Slacker Marpet. Hashtag slacking alley.
Yep, slacking alley. And I think that that right there gives Brady the comfort and the it's not like Brady needs confidence, but it allows him to know, okay, this is how these guys work. This is how their footwork is. I know that if with this I've got to do this, and with that I got to do that. And he's so smart and he's so experienced that having that sort of consistency in front of him just only helps make things better. And then you look at the guys that have stepped up with all of the injuries, whether it's Desir and D. Delaney on in the defensive backfield when you were missing Carlton Davis and Murphy Bunting, and with Andrew Adams and Cockrell and the guys when Whitehead went out, and when they lost Winfield, and with Edwards being suspended. And then on the offensive side, the Tyler Johnsons, the Brashad Perrimans, Cyril, even though, he left early in the game with the hamstring issue. And I would not be surprised if we don't see Cyril at all in the postseason because of it, because he is known for his speed. Now hamstring, that's gonna be really, really rough for him. But with Tyler Johnson, with Perriman, with what Grayson did, with what Brait did, having all of the injuries, and then of course, without Leonard Fournette, without Ronald Jones, and seeing what Le'Veon Bell's been able to do over the last couple of weeks.
It's like the return of Peyton Barber.
I know.
He gets what's there.
And I know everybody is.
You need 2.5 yards. Give it to Le'Veon Bell.
and I see Frank in the comments screaming about Scotty Miller. Stop, Scotty Miller. Scotty Miller had made 2 plays in the fourth quarter of a game that was already well decided. I don't see, like, Scotty Miller is still like fourth.
Are you a Scotty Miller hater?
I'm not a Scotty Miller hater. But
you just don't understand why fans like him so much?
I don't, it's kind of like the overwhelming love fest for Joe Juravicius back in the day. Like, Joe Juravicius could do no wrong. And it was like, Joe Juravicius...
Because he didn't do anything wrong.
Joe Juravicius was a nice wide receiver, but he wasn't Keyshawn Johnson good. You gotta know a guy's role.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I'd argue that these people are just they like him. They like him when he gets in the game, when he produces. I don't see anybody saying wide receiver 1 down here. He's got a little Scotty
Miller MVP.
Well, of the game, maybe. I mean, it was pretty close till that end around. I mean, Carolina had a chance to come back.
It was a 2-touchdown game at that point.
I think it was 3. Yeah. No, I mean, I hear you. Like, who did Quan Alexander was one I didn't understand. Like, I did not dislike Quan, but the guy couldn't cover. He just couldn't cover, and he would miss his run gaps just as much as he hit his run gaps. He had a great game in Atlanta, his rookie year, and then after that, he was a liability. Like, when he went against the Camaras and the McCaffreys and the David Johnsons back before he got broken, the guys, the true 3-down backs, Ezekiel Elliott's, he couldn't keep up. He was terrible. He was just terrible. And and fans are just like, Quan Alexander, this is Quan. I'm like, all right. I mean, he's on my team and I'm glad he's here, but he's not as good as, it's like, I don't understand.
I get that. I was, and it's because I, had a little bit of a relationship with Quan Alexander, being in the locker room and around him, which is why I liked Quan as much as I did. So,
could you understand him?
Yeah, it took me a while.
I could have sworn, I swear to God, like half, not after the game or anything like that, but like, I could swear he's like high all the time. Because when you get high and you kind of talk through your nose, like you hold your breath and kind of talk to you, and you kind of talk like this, and you're not really sure. I swear to God, that's what he's doing all the time. Like he's so high, he's like forgetting to breathe and sort of talking through his nose.
And he kind of talked like James Carville from CNN. He got his bookie Tibor Lachule in there, but that's it takes a while to understand Quan Alex. I tell you, I talked to him the day he got drafted, and like I asked him a question, and like he said something, and I was like, "What in the hell did he just?"
was that French?
I'm sitting in the room at the Advent Health Training Center, and they had him on because it was a day 3 pick that they used on Alexander. So we're all sitting in the room, and they just had him on the speakerphone. I asked a question, and he said something, and I remember I kind of looked, and I forget who was with me from DAE, but there were 2 of us there, and I remember I looked over, I was like, what the hell did he just say? I have no idea. Like and I'm like, and like I see everybody else saying so I'm sure like everybody else was like whatever. No idea, but yeah, I liked Quan personally, but you're right that Quan Alexander was not as good of a player, like when it came statistically, as he was popular with the fan base. So.
Yeah, Brett and I had a theory that the reason they took away his green dot was because no one could understand him.
No one understand him. That's what that might be very possible. All right, yeah. Let's get to the guys on the chat here. So I believe we've got Corey. So we'll have Corey get up first here. Hopefully he's in the dark.
Yes.
Look at him. He's got.
Oh, he's moving to the light. He's putting a spotlight on. He's starting to learn about video.
Hey, so many things to unpack, but let's just keep it relevant. First off, you guys made some really good points earlier about the coaching staff. I would argue not only do players not regress, they actually get better.
Yeah.
Coaching staff. I mean, Shaq Barrett is a Pro Bowler. Nobody knew who he was when we signed him from Denver. Now, granted, he might have been talented, but imagine him being able to play to the potential that he's playing to now, or even 3/4 of the potential that he plays to now with Bradley Chubb and Von Miller. That defense could have been even better because they could have played all 3 of them. But he got better, quite frankly, because he's older, and Dominic and Sue got better. In my opinion, he's a problem when you add him to our D line. He has 3 touchdowns since he's been here. That's
I will say
he's better than the Miami and Dominic and Sue.
Yeah, he is.
The only person that I will say that, and I don't even know if he was a BA guy. He may have been a dirt guy. Well, I was thinking Swaggy Baker.
No, he was a free agent.
Yeah, exactly. He was.
Yeah, he was under Cutter. Yeah,
Cutter. Yeah, man. Yeah. These guys, Andrew Adams.
Right?
Andrew Adams. The draft. How about the draft picks? The draft picks. And of course, we have some. And you mentioned something about the offensive line. One of our most talented offensive linemen, who's a swing offensive lineman, Aaron Stinney, came off IR.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's huge for our depth. Coming into this playoff run. Dare I say, Tom Brady got better with this coaching staff. We were saying his arm was dead. I get he had no weapons, but the way he throws the ball down the field is better than what he was doing in New England. I mean, even when he's throwing deep balls to Scotty Miller or for Cyril Grayson, it's amazing what this coaching staff has been able to do, and it's no coincidence that we had the most wins in our franchise history today. We locked that up against, and this game was weird, but it's over and done with. Let's talk about just a quick snapshot of next week's game. Now, the thing about Philly, and thank God it worked out this way that we were going to play Philly regardless, because not to toot our horn, but they're just in a bad matchup against us. Yes, there are spots where you can run the ball on us, but you're not going to come into a game and only run the ball on us. You have to be able to play balanced and honest, and I don't know, they just won't be able to do it. In my opinion, any given weekend, but in my opinion, I just don't think they'll be able to pass the ball efficiently enough to to threaten us down the field.
Yeah, I mean, I know I've talked a lot about how if you commit to the run, you can run the ball on this team. And, there was something that I saw today was like the cutback lanes. I don't know if that was because,
We're overly aggressive.
The absent. Yeah. I don't know if like because no one's tried it before or because it's not there because the backside's been so disciplined since Todd Bowles been here. I don't really know the answer to that. But if you commit to run the ball, you're not going to score 30 points. And if you don't score 30 points, your odds of beating the Bucs is low.
Unless you got the same defense.
Yeah, unless and there we're not, unless they all get picked up by Philadelphia by Sunday, which I don't think is going to happen.
Right.
So
and I'm just Tom Brady, man, and it was like the offense was like, you get an incentive, you get an incentive, you get an incentive. He was definitely on his Oprah this afternoon.
Everybody except Antonio Brown.
Everybody except Antonio Brown. And that's so weird that it annoys me when podcasts don't have objectivity, because that lets you know the podcast, in my opinion, isn't that legit. Because that was easy to look up that Gronk had an incentive-based contract as well. They could have easily fact-checked him as soon as he made that statement. Like, no, actually, Gronk does that. Actually, if Gronk doesn't get this, then he doesn't get this. Then I would have liked to see AB's response, like, yeah, you dumbass. But I just wish I could have been sitting right next to him and just said, because he's going to be the guy looking up when we're kissing our other Super Bowl rings. And unfortunately, he'll get one, wouldn't he?
I don't know.
I think that's
he's eligible for one, but I don't know if they have to buy him one
or something. But I was very impressed with how
they get him a plastic one, like you can get at the team store.
Yeah, exactly. Get him the one from the team store that I took a picture with. But I'm very impressed with this team's ability to continue to win this season. We've had a lot of injuries to major components on our team. We've had next man up mentality on defense and on the back end all year. And honestly, the last 8 weeks on the front end. So the defense for the entire season has been next man up. And offensively, the same thing. We had AB, Gronk, Godwin, Evans, Fournette. Was it 2 games? Might have been 2 games. We had them healthy, like all of them.
Yeah, the graphic said they were all together week 1 and 2, because after that, Gronk went down in the Rams game.
In the Rams game.
And then AB went down, and then he got then he got suspended. And then when he came back, there was no Fournette.
The ability to keep that engine moving to 13 wins is huge. My last point, I don't know how you cannot make Tom Brady MVP.
Right.
They want to love on Aaron Rodgers, but the only reason why the Packers are number 1 seed because of tiebreakers. We have the same record. Okay, so now we can take that. Oh, they're the number 1 seed. Yeah, but they got the same record. We didn't even play each other. Now, if they went head to head and they won, I get it. But I mean, they won a couple, and first of all, they're in a worse division, and they still had 2 division losses.
I don't know if they're in a worse division.
Our
division's pretty.
Any division with
their division isn't good, but ours isn't good this year.
Yeah, but they have the Lions. Yeah. They get to play the Lions twice.
They get to play the Lions twice because we saw what happened when they played the Saints, right? Yeah, week 1 or not, we saw that shit. That shit happened. You can't take it off his resume. It happened. It's something that happened. Now, you have to play them twice a year. Carolina's a better team than Chicago. Their defense was number 2 in points allowed this year. And Atlanta was a feisty team all year. I mean, they just got out the playoff hunt 2 weeks ago. So, to see that, you get to play the NFC. But Tom Brady, man, what he was able to do at 44 this year, I mean, it's going to be unprecedented unless he does it again next year, which would be weird as hell. But Mike Evans, that was my second to last point of MVP. My very last point is Mike Evans. The guy is amazing.
Yeah.
He's the best draft pick, I'm going to say offensively, because I know you guys love Leroy. So he's the best draft pick offensively that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have ever made. And it's not even close. It's not a close number 2.
I would say of the Glazer era.
Okay, he's the
Glazer
best pick for the Glazer area.
Are you going to put him over Brooks and Sapp? Like, that's it. It's Brooks, Sapp, and Evans.
Well, I said offensively. That's why I said offensively.
Right.
Offensively, he's the best player with the selflessness.
Yeah.
And the talent. this is a mix that we rarely see in professional sports.
It's been nice to watch him mature through his career. He was
Right.
never terrible, but he was a complainer early on. He had some drops early on, like, year 1, year 2. Like if he didn't catch the ball, he would call for a PI every single time. And then and he's just sort of matured through it, and keeping his mouth shut through this whole AB stuff,
because AB took a slight at him.
Yeah, he did.
He took a slight at him. He took a slight at all our skill players for no reason. All those guys did nothing but support him. That was CTE. I'm just gonna leave that alone. I'm not gonna talk about that. But Mike Evans just does not get the love and support that he deserves. I cannot wait. I can't wait for his Hall of Fame ceremony and his Ring of Honor ceremony. It's going to be magnificent because he's going to deserve every single accolade. You never see the mix of talent and professionalism from like at this level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you never see it. I mean, maybe Rondé, who he better be a damn Hall of Famer this year because that's.
Oh, Mike's way better than Rondé.
Yeah. Yeah. But I love Rondé because of his character.
Oh, so do I. Yeah.
And his mind for the game was really high. The plays he made, I'm
not arguing Rondé's not a Hall of Famer. I'm just saying that when you if you're going to stack up who's a better football player, Rondé or Mike Evans is going to smoke him.
But I'm about to go ahead and I'm finishing up dinner here, man. 13 wins, guys. And if Tom Brady doesn't win MVP, I'll be okay with it because MVPs don't win Super Bowls. So
that's right.
So.
What are you making?
Actually, some oxtail.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, oxtail because you can't get it in Nashville anywhere, and I grew up on this stuff.
Are you braising it?
No, that's in. Usually that's what I do, but it takes too long, so it's in the crock pot now.
I was going to say he's got it. Must have it in the pressure cooker.
Yeah, it's in the pressure cooker. That's what I meant.
What's that thing? The Wonder Pot or the?
It'll be done in
the Instant Pot.
Instapot, yeah.
Instapot. So
I just learned about that thing last week.
Guys, 13-4, record-breaking season. Let me go watch these press conferences because that's my gospel at night.
There you go.
All right.
Love you guys. I look forward to talking with you after the Eagles win next week.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man. All right, thanks, Corey.
Thanks, Corey. Be good, brother. Oh man, he's talking oxtail. We have a new little Caribbean place that just opened across the street from my apartment complex, and I am dying to go over there. Last night they had like tents out and they were playing like loud music, and it sounded like it was going to be a blast. I will tell you that as long as the Bucs are not playing next Saturday, I will be going over there to have me some Caribbean food, because I know they got oxtail over there.
Yeah. John dropped out, so hopefully he'll come back.
All right. Well, then before we continue on, then let me get BetUS out of the way.
There you go.
BetUS, of course, is the official sponsor of the Pewter Cast, and if you are like Ren and you are doing very, very well on BetUS over the course
$6 million in the past 2 weeks, I've made.
He's made $6 million over the past.
Hence
2
the new hat.
Weeks. He's got a brand new hat to show for it there. And you could be just like Ren on BetUS.com. Plus, you can get a little extra scratch in your account when you sign up using our official sign-up code, which is Pewter C125. Again, it's the word Pewter, Pewter, with the letter C and the number 125. For over 27 years, BetUS.com has been paying off winners like Ren. And, of course, they have almost anything that you can think of when it comes to betting on sports, whether you want to bet on the NFL. Hopefully you took the Jacksonville Jaguars like I did, and 16.5
Did you
points.
Really?
I did.
Oh, but you took the points, of course. Yeah,
I took the points. I wish I had taken the money line.
Yeah, right?
I did not feel confident.
You would have made $7 million.
Yeah, I would have. You want to know what I saw the money line right before kickoff? It was plus 790, which
really,
yeah. So you bet $100, win $890 if you had taken the Jaguars straight up on the money line. I had no confidence in that. I did take 16.5 points, and I won myself $110 on that. So that made me very, very happy. But again, you can bet the NFL like Ren and I do. You can bet the NBA and the NHL as those regular seasons are going on right now. There's only one college football game left. It, of course, is on Monday night, the college football playoff national championship game, but you can bet that as well. You can bet UFC fights as well as PGA Tour tournaments. And, of course, Ren's favorite, the ponies are available on there as well.
The ponies.
And they've got great research there as well. So if you
they really do,
it's so good.
They really do. And it's all free.
And it's all for free, which is fantastic. And you get a little extra scratch using, again, Pewter C125 as your sign up code. Because if you do that, you get 125% sign up bonus. So you use Pewter C125 as your sign up code, and you deposit $100. They give you $125 extra dollars that you can bet with. So you get $225 to bet on, and it's great. It's fantastic. So definitely check them out right now. It's the best way to support this podcast is if you go to betus.com and use the promo code PewterC125. You bet, you win, and your ass gets paid with betus.com.
Yeah, I haven't talked about, after you've given that read, I haven't really talked about them a lot for a while now, but I'm going to a little bit here. I listen to a lot of other podcasts. I also listen to other Buck podcasts. I'm sure our listeners listen to other Buck podcasts as well, and they all have some type of betting thing. I mean, the NFL does it now. The ticker's on. Like, everyone is, promoting betting. Betting is coming to, your grandmother's going to be betting soon. So it's just the next wave of what's going on. But none of these places has 125%, and BetUS does. Period. End of story. Like, people, they'll match it, they'll match up to 100%, $100 up to like $200. Like, I don't even know there's a cap at BetUS. Like, if you put 1,000, they're going to give you 1,000, like 125% of 1,000, I think. I don't know. Like, they've never told us no. So, it's really, so if you want to bet and you're going to do it and you want to look into it, all the information's there, and they give you the most free money to start, period, end of story. And when you sign up and put in the code, they give us money, period, end of story. That way we don't have to bug you about Patreon or like and subscribe or, we don't care about clicks and we don't care about downloads so much this year as we care about that, because that puts money directly in our pockets. Every single person that signs up, even if you have to put in at least $50. You put in $50, you get $125 to bet with. That's it. The end.
It's not bad. It's certainly, and like I said, Ren's done well with it. I've started to get better with it.
There you go.
Over the course of the season.
The trick is only make bets that you win.
Exactly.
Yes. So
because I get kind of antsy when I lose. Very angry. At times.
I should have seen that coming.
Yeah, but damn it! Why did I bet that way? I'm so stupid. But I don't worry about that anymore because I've been winning, which is very, very, very nice. Now I know that we can get you in here as well. Again, the link is in the comment section on YouTube. Ren just put it back out. Richard, who is normally on here with us. Most post games, asked a question about, because both Todd Bowles and Byron Leftwich interviewed with the Jacksonville Jaguars here this past week for their open head coaching position, and asking about Vic Fangio possibly replacing Bowles as defensive coordinator. For me, I think that whichever. I don't think that Bowles is going to be the one that they go for that job. I think that they want Leftwich. Because
of Trevor Lawrence?
Because of Trevor Lawrence and the fact that Leftwich has a relationship with the Jaguars franchise.
That's right. I keep forgetting. Number one draft pick.
Yeah, he was their first round draft pick back in the day. So I think that if somebody's going to get that opportunity and it's going to be one of the Bucs coordinators, it's going to be Leftwich. And not Bowles. So I don't think you have to worry about Bowles leaving there and bringing in Vic Fangio to replace, But it would not surprise me. Bowles, I believe, is the highest paid assistant coach in the league this year.
In the multiverse.
Yeah. So I think that when it comes to, I think it's going to be harder for a team to ask Bowles to be a head coach because he already makes so much money as an assistant. And so you're gonna be asking Todd Bowles should be asking for a crap load of money, or as we used to say in the Navy, a cubic ass load of money.
Cubic, nice.
Yes. So
yeah,
I think that I think that that Bowles would be more than happy to stay here with BA, with the understanding that when BA leaves, maybe he's the guy that takes over at that point.
Okay, well, let's switch the question up then. The flat earthers are correct, and Bowles steps off the edge of the earth and never to be seen again. Would Vic Fangio be a good replacement, in your opinion?
That's a good... I wish I had the foresight to think about, okay...
Here's the way to look at it. I'm going to let you off the hook. Here's the way to look at it. Go back and see who BA has coached with. That's who he gets. When we need players, he goes and gets guys. He's like Kevin Minter. Who was that swing tackle that we had for a couple of years that played for St. Louis? Oh, my God. What was his name? Joe Haig? No. He's not on the team anymore. We got him late, then we brought him back late last year. Played guard. Yeah, I don't know. But, no, I don't really remember his name.
I remember Joe Haig.
Joe Haig still... No, he got picked up. Yeah, because we got Wells now.
Yeah.
No, but it was... You look on who they pick up, it's somebody that he's had a relationship with somewhere before. Like Bowles he had a relationship with before. Foote, obviously Byron Leftwich. These are all guys that he knew and coached with before. BA's not really a guy that goes out and, gets the next new hot thing. So, if... Kellen Moore, I think somebody put the head coaching jobs are open up. No, somebody was talking about it's the Cowboys guy. Kellen Moore, he's the Cowboys offensive coordinator. Guy. The Cowboys have the Bucs think had to score 60 points to take the lead or win the season for most offense scoring, averaging the most points. If Byron Leftwich left, BA's not going to go to Kellen Moore, and it's a lateral move. I understand that, but he doesn't have a pass with Kellen Moore. He's going to find somebody that he's worked with before, and that's when he brings in, sort of these veterans off the street in the middle of the year, or that the person's been in camp a lot, such as who's back, Brad Seaton is back.
Yeah,
and Brad Seaton is a guy who's been in and out of Bucs training camp. Well, he's been in Bucs training camp for the last 3 years, maybe 4 years, and he's been on and off the practice squad his whole career. But the reason they keep bringing him back, there you go, Hal A.Q. Shockley. That's not who I'm talking about, but yeah, that's another one. He played guard. He was a guy that played guard. He played with him in Phoenix too. But A.Q. Shipley's another great one. What was I? So I forgot what I was talking about.
He goes out and gets the guys.
Yeah. Anyway, so to wrap it up, as far as when you're looking for who's going to replace who if Coach X leaves, you have to start with what Ted Larson. Thank you. Is that right? Might be. That might be right. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I'll look it up and tweet it later. It does. It doesn't matter. When those people tell a story and they're trying to get the detail right and you have no idea. I was talking to Tom, or no, maybe it was Sally. Was it Sally? And it's you're just waiting on the story. I don't know who Tom or Sally. It doesn't matter. That's not the story. Who you were talking to. The conversation's the story. Now that I've killed enough time for a commercial break. Go and look at who BA has worked with and sort of who and maybe even out of football altogether. And that would be the place I would start on any replacement anywhere on the coaching staff and or players, coming up. Not so much free agency, but when someone goes down, they need somebody, sort of on the quick. They go with guys that he knows, that trusts, that knows the offense, that knows the defense and that sort of thing. So it's a lot easier to plug in, and that's why somebody like Brad Seaton's still around, because he's been in the system for like 4 or 5 years now. And, he might not be the best 130th swing lineman out there, but he's the best 130th swing lineman out there that has the knowledge. So, it's just the way things are done with the Bucs, and I like it. I think it's a right way to do it.
Yeah, I agree with you that BA being very, very loyal, the loyalty that he shows to his to his assistants, to his former players, to the other guys that he's worked with and worked for. I like what Chris mentioned in the comments. How about Chuck Pagano? That's a guy that BA definitely knows well. And the question then becomes, does Pagano want to get back into coaching again? I think he's working as a I want to say he's working in a front office somewhere now. But yeah, I mean that's another guy that that I would assume that if Todd Bowles leaves and steps off the face the corner, the edge of the earth, like you said,
tragedy. First off, I mean,
yes, very big tragedy.
Moment of silence.
The fact that he couldn't see it.
He's probably looking at his phone.
It steps off into the void like in Superman. But Chuck Pagano is another guy that is a defensive coach that could certainly be someone that might be interesting to bring in, and definitely knows what.
Earl Watford.
Oh, Earl Watford. That's right.
That's the guy.
That's the guy. So
that worked really well. All I did was punch in Bucs Cardinals offensive lineman, and it gave me
AQ Shipley.
Yep, it gave me Josh Allen, which I don't really think that's right. Then it gave me AQ Shipley twice, and then it gave me somebody called Jay Benzinger. And then it gave me Earl Watford and Ted Larson.
Oh, there you go. So
anyway,
I know we're talking a lot about, because
I got into it on Twitter with
Black Monday.
Earl Watford once.
Oh, do tell.
He was trying to say Cersei Lannister was right in the way she acted.
Really?
Yeah, because she was protecting her family.
Whatever.
Yeah. It didn't last long. I burnt him, and he, I'm like, no, this is wrong because of this, and then he just didn't respond.
Did you burn him like Daenerys' dragons did to Cersei Lannister?
You're so
bad. You knew that was coming.
I didn't know it was. I mean, I knew something corny was coming. You
mentioned Game of Thrones.
So this is my fault.
Absolutely.
Your terrible puns and jokes are my fault.
Damn straight they are.
Fine. I apologize, America.
Black Monday, of course, is tomorrow, and I would assume that we are going to see quite a few more head coaches being shown the door.
Yeah.
Joe Judge.
I think Zimmer's a great coach. I can't believe Minnesota let him go.
Yeah, if they let Mike Zimmer go, that's crazy talk.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I like Mike Zimmer. I think Mike Zimmer's a good coach.
Yeah, everyone's saying he's gone.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying Zimmer is gone. Joe Judge, of course, everybody thinks Joe Judge is gone.
Right.
Everybody thinks that Matt Nagy in Chicago is gone.
Right. Isn't he actually gone?
No, I don't think he's gone yet. No, the only coaches that have been fired so far this year are Gruden, of course.
Yeah.
Urban Meyer, Vic Fangio. So those are the three guys that are.
Who did Vic Fangio coach for?
Denver.
Oh, I didn't know he got fired.
Yeah. Vic Fangio got the axe as well. I don't think Nagy has been.
Matt Nagy.
Welcome everyone. Yeah, I don't think Matt Nagy has officially been fired yet. I'm double checking as we speak, but they did let Matt Nagy go. All right, so
I thought it was like yesterday or the day before.
Yeah, so I thought that they were going to wait until tomorrow to do it, but
nah, they're going to get a jump on the old Matt Nagy train.
So
anyway, you got anything else? Let's get the hell out of here. We're boring people with our Earl Watford and Matt Nagy.
Exactly. I'm excited for the wild card round.
Yes.
Philadelphia. It's a team that we've already played this year. and we've already beaten this year. And is
wait, John finally found his way back.
Is John back?
Gotta bring him in. Bring him in. All right, here we go. From Newport Richie. Haven't heard him for a while. I used to call him Squeezy or Wheezy because he sounded like a lot like the penguin from Toy Story who lost his squeaker. But we'll see. What's up, John?
Hi,
Hey
John.
guys, how you doing?
Good. Long time no see. How you been?
Doing all right, guys. How about you?
Yeah, well, we're here every week, just waiting on you.
Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Check and see too.
Exactly.
What's up, man?
Well, first of all, Tom Brady for MVP. Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, you're a liar. So, Aaron Rodgers, you're a liar. Tom Brady wins. That's it. Tom Brady wins.
That's right. John has very strong convictions. Remember, he yelled at us about betting when he came on earlier in the year because we were promoting Bet US.
Yes.
Oh no, I was just trying to make sure that people know that if you're not under the age of 18, do not bet.
Yeah, that's all right. That's very true. Carney, do you say that in the promo?
Please bet responsibly.
There you go. All right.
Okay.
What else you got? We got anything about the game? Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, but first of all, defense. It played well most of the game. It really wasn't until the end when the game was over. Really, they didn't give a damn.
Yeah.
But by then we already won it, so that was nice. Joe Tryon played excellent. Whitehead played pretty well. Like Jordan Whitehead almost got a pick, but fortunately he had no hands.
Yeah, I think I feel like we drop like 3 picks a game.
Yeah,
I feel
recently.
I feel like we drop at least like 10 to 12 picks every these past 2 seasons. We drop like 10 to 12 picks.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Pierre Desir played excellent. So guy who we picked up during the season, has done pretty well though for a backup. That's really has been the story though. Guys, really guys that you never really heard of or guy we just picked up doing well. Which is awesome, which is kind of cool. Sarah Grayson and all that. Rashad Perryman, had that almost catch of a year.
Yeah, that was real pretty. I think that would probably get in the catch of the year, at least have consideration for it if he was a better known player.
Yeah, true. But
like if he was D-Hop or somebody on Dallas or Godwin or Mike or, somebody like that, like considered a top 10, top 15, Odell Beckham. Yeah, somebody like that. Like I think it would have got consideration for an SP, but.
Yeah. But that's Perryman being Perryman on the Bucs, though. Remember, it only has to be on the Bucs. He's good.
It's true. He can only play football in Florida, apparently.
That's right.
Well, yes.
Somewhere on the I-4 corridor.
There you go. Yes. Yes.
But of course, Tom Brady being Tom Brady. Tom Brady. Keyshawn Vaughn, had some good plays. Same with Bell, good hands. His hands, he's not that bad as a pass catcher, pretty good as one. So nothing to complain here. Mike Evans, being Mike Evans. Gronk being Gronk. You can't say anything about them. Mike Evans setting records. He's the only player now with 8 straight starting season with 1,000 yards. So company on his own now. So. He has his own record. He's in his own company. That's a gold jacket if I ever heard one.
Yeah, I always used to sort of like, I did. When, we were going through that slump of not getting John Lynch in the Hall of Fame and, we do pods on it and stuff. And I had to kind of bang on Ira because he would go on the radio and talk about how everybody wants him to present everybody and he knows this person because he was on a roll because he got in Brooks and he got in Sapp on their very first, tries in there. And I used to say, well, if I were presenting Derek Brooks in the Hall of Fame room, I would stand up and I would go, ladies and gentlemen, I'm representing Derek Brooks. And I would sit down. And that's enough to get them in. We have a lot of players on this team that are approaching that. Like if you're going to in the Hall of Fame room and you're trying to get Tom Brady in the Hall of Fame, you don't even have to even stand up and say that. You know, with Gronk, you just have to stand up. I'm here for Gronk. And then I sit back down.
You don't even need to say his name. You just got to say Gronk.
Gronk. Hi, Gronk. Yeah, check. And Mike's getting there. Like Mike's getting there where it's like an absolute no brainer. It's just like you just got to wait 5 years after he retires and he gets in there. So, it's just so weird as a Bucs fan to say stuff like that.
I know.
Yeah. Offensive line played well. Especially with a Scotty Miller touchdown. Did you see Robert Hainsey on that drive?
I was going to ask that, Corey, that I thought I saw him because I was sort of, that's when I kind of.
He was the guy who pushed him to allow Scotty Miller to get that touchdown.
Yeah, he was like 35 yards downfield throwing a block, right?
Yep.
Yeah, he was the guy downfield. He was the guy.
I was outside smoking, looking through the window, and I'm like, 70, who the hell's that? And I sort of caught a glimpse, and my eyes aren't the best, and I was about 30 feet away from the TV, and it's not a huge TV. And I'm like, was that Hainsey? And I wanted to ask, and I just kept forgetting. But yeah, first off, good. It's nice to see Hainsey in the game. I think it's the first time I've noticed him. And
he's been in games before when there's blowouts, but really never. But we never really got any touchdowns or any really big plays where we can highlight him.
Yeah, he's Blaine Gabbert. Like Maddox has a private catcher. Greg Maddox had his own catcher. Yeah, Gabbert has his personal center. It's Hainsey. Wherever I go, you got to sign this guy.
Yeah, but defensive line, Vita Vea, played excellent with that new money.
The problem that I had early on with the defense is the fact that, Darnold was able to run away from all the pressure that they were bringing. They were bringing pressure, but they weren't getting to Darnold. And
it was frustrating.
It sounds like that happens to us a lot, though. That's been a problem with us a lot. Yeah. That's been that's our that's our crux of the defense is that we can get to them, but if they're more of a scrambling quarterback, we're gonna have a little trouble because then they can just use their feet. And that seems to be the problem, really big part of the problem there with the defensive line.
It's like one of those old black and white.
That speed.
It's like one of those old black and white movies, like where the front of the building falls down and the guy's standing there, but he just happens to be standing in the doorway. And the whole thing just falls over him, but he's standing where the cutout where the doorway is, and it misses him. I feel like that's sort of like the Bucs, like the guy standing in the doorway is the quarterback of the opposing team, and I feel it happens a lot early. Anyway, none of you guys reacted to that at all, but it's a thing, and it's funny, and
sure.
Yeah, but
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, so
did they get burnt to a crisp?
But we had an embarrassing moment, though. We had one embarrassing moment in this game.
What's that?
Ryan Suckup slipping.
No.
What? I didn't see that. What happened?
Yeah, Suckup missed a field goal late in the game because he went to plant and his spikes went out from under him and he fell on his ass.
Oh, pulled the Brent Grimes.
Yeah. Well, he got the ball. At least he got the ball there. He had almost got through. It almost got through the uprights to the point where they actually fired the cannons once.
Yeah.
And they went, oh, that didn't go through. It almost got through.
He got like a half cannon.
Yeah, he got a half cannon.
A little pop confetti cannon.
So, what else you got, John?
Linebackers, we need Levante David. That's bottom line.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, we need Levante.
Yeah, you're not saying anything that we don't already know. What are you thinking next week? Give me an early prediction on next week. Philadelphia at Raymond James Stadium.
Well, you see our record at home, and we faced them before, so they know us, but we know them.
Mm-hmm. The end.
That's cool. That is as close to a no comment as I think we'll ever.
Yeah, because we're gonna win.
Good job, Coach Saban.
You're on to Cincinnati, John.
Yeah, we're on to Philadelphia, and then we're on to the next game though. Well, at home. Because we got the second seed, and guess what? Saints lost. Good. That's karma. That's what we call karma in this day and age.
Damn right we do.
There you go.
All right, John, man.
That's for Chris Godwin. That's vengeance. And we'll come back. And next time we face him, vengeance will come back with them so forth.
No, they need to be waterboarded for what they did to Godwin. I'm not saying they did it on purpose, but, you can always accidentally fall chained up into a bathtub and then have a rag put over your face with buckets of water poured across it accidentally too. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
All right, man. Good talking to you, buddy.
Yep, and yeah, good talking to you guys. Go Bucs, and let's try to see you make it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I got you. Me too. Go Bucs.
Go Bucs.
Go Bucs. John. Go Bucs.
All right. For final thing before we get on out of here, I want to. We gotta wish both the great Gene Deckerhoff and Dave Moore a speedy recovery. Both of them missed today's game on the radio. They tested positive for COVID.
Yeah.
So they ended up in COVID protocols.
The first time Gene's missed a Bucs game ever. He missed the first half one time.
Yeah.
Because of a weather delay coming. He was trying to get out of Tallahassee and get to wherever the Bucs were, and he missed the first half of one game 67 years ago.
Yeah. But
and this is
game. Yeah, Gene, of course, has been the play-by-play guy for the Bucs since 1989.
Yeah.
And missed his first game. Dave Moore also missed the game. So it was done on the radio by T.J. Reeves and Anthony Beck. From
two of my least favorite people, but I will say, because I do bang on the media sometimes, when sort of that last half of when, Suck Up slipped and I stepped outside and, a turnover happened and the Scotty Miller touchdown happened and then something, I think it was right after Mike got his second touchdown. And I walked outside. By the time I got back inside, it's 42. And it's what the hell? No, I was watching it. But I was listening to the radio call. And I thought they did really, really well.
Yeah.
Honestly, I really did. I thought it was going to be a goddamn disaster because I really don't enjoy listening to either of those two guys talk about football. But together, I thought they were really, I did. I thought they were really good.
Yeah, I thought they did a very good job as well. But we will have Gene and Dave back on the radio, hopefully for next week. So let's get out of here. It's been an hour and 5 minutes. The Sunday night game is already underway, and so I definitely want to watch that because it should be interesting to see if Rich Bisaccia can actually make the playoffs. So let's get out of here. Tell them how they can find you, Ren.
Best place to find me is on Twitter at the PeterCast. I'm always down to talk Buccaneers football, but if you think your take's too hot and don't want to put out there in Twitter sphere, feel free to slide my DMs and we'll talk Buccaneers football with you too also.
And I am at Steve Carney and all the other stuff that's going on here, stpete9.com, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Thank you to all of you that joined us here on the live show here on YouTube. Of course, those of you that are listening to the podcast, hit that subscribe button. Everybody on YouTube as well. Hit subscribe, share, hit the notification bell so you never miss another one, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Thank you to our sponsor, BedUS.com. Thank you to the Fansided Network for hosting this show. And, of course, until next time, go Buck yourself.